Finspan, come dive with me into this unboxing. Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games. And today we're going to be unboxing Finspan. Now, Finspan is the third series of the Wingspan games. The first one was all about birds and was, quite frankly, one of the most beautiful games out there, which had a beautiful kind of artistic impression of every single bird you could find in Europe, in America, in the Pacific, in the Asian continent. It was just an absolutely beautiful game and a very chill game. It was all about kind of nesting and collecting birds and kind of setting up a habitat. The second game was called Wormspan, which was a bit more for fantasy lovers, which basically was about kind of creating dragons and flying worms, things like that. This one goes back more into the real world again with aquatic life. So this game is for 1 to 5 players. It was designed by David Gordon and Michael O'Connell. And basically you have 3 different zones. You have the sunlight zone, the ghostly twilight zone, and the pitch black midnight zone, in which you're trying to kind of discover fish in every single habitat, grow your collection, discover freshly laid eggs, and hatch eggs into young mature schools of fish. So again, it's a game that's of a similar vein to both Wingspan and Wormspan, but set in the world's oceans. So with no further ado, let's unbox this and see what we have inside. Now, before I continue, I just want to stress that this is actually our competition game. So if you check the link below in the description, or perhaps if James is kind enough to add a link up here, you can check out our competition and perhaps win a copy of this for yourself, for one of our lucky subscribers. So with no further ado, let's unbox this and see what's inside. So opening the box for the very first time, we are greeted with instructions. Now this is 12 pages long, so it's not overly complex. There's a lovely quality to the paper, so that's one thing that's been with all of these Wingspan, Wormspan and Finspan games, is that the quality of the components is always first rate. So you have your little overview and goal, you have the Nautoma, which I think is the Automa, which is what you would kind of call one-player games. So there is a one-player aspect to this. You have, of course, the trays here, which would have the cards. So I'm going to put that to one side. We have here just an empty little kind of space collector. So I suppose that there's room for expansions if you want. We have a little baggie, which are always nice to see. And we have what I believe would be player aids and perhaps the achievements. So there is an achievement side A and an achievement side B. So I presume that sometimes it either shakes up the game, or in some cases that you can try and aim for a high score with it. You have the ability iconography here and the fish card anatomy here. So these are kind of player aids. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Again, lovely to the feel, lovely to touch. So a very tactile game. And we have, they of course have their own little baggie to come in. So that's nice that you can kind of keep them nice and solid. So we'll have a little look at some of the iconography. So again, yeah, just a nice little synopsis. So you've got a fish egg here, you've got a hatch and egg, you've got small schools, you've got cost, gain any card. So a few different kind of explanations there, all nice and handy for you. You have, of course, the points sheets, double-sided, so this will last you a nice while. And we have here the actual player boards, which are nice and big. Now this one goes top down rather than across. So the Wingspan games kind of came across like this. Fishspan obviously comes across like this. And of course you have the different iconography. So I presume this is the sunlight zone, the twilight zone, and the ghostly zone. So of course you would have different shoals of fish that would be in different parts. And oh look, here at the other side you have Australia and China. So actually I'm just wondering, with the other player boards, I presume they're all similar. So yeah, the fish are similar, but the back is different. So we have here the Americas and South America. So that's actually pretty cool. So I presumed that the whole thing would unfold into one large continent. And of course, yeah, here we go. We have here the African continent. We have Europe, and good old Ireland is always nice to see her. And we have Iceland. So, and the last part, I presume, there's 5 parts of it. So yeah, this is of course the western seaboard of the United States. So you have Alaska here, and of course I'd imagine this is, yep, the Central Eurasian continent. So we have India, we have most of Russia, and the Middle East. So that's pretty cool. So that would actually unfold into a big, massive board. I don't think my camera can zoom quite out enough to do it, but 2 boards here would cover up the entire table. So there is a lot to this. So quite a nice little thing, actually. I did not expect to see at the end of this. So that is a nice little touch. We have here, of course, the tokens. So I presume these are the eggs, and these are the shoals of fish. That's the first player marker. And I presume these, in the old Wormspan and Wingspan games, these would be the icons that would kind of pop up, and it would give you kind of different points for maximizing these things. So you get 3 points, for example, for having the most schools, 2 points for the most rows of fish, a singular point per fish, eggs and their young, so things like that. And of course, it pops out easily enough. And we have here the same thing here, a couple of other different kind of achievements or goals. So fish without tokens, fish with tokens, predator tag, 3 eggs, 2 eggs, consumed fish, each of these tags, if activated cards, large fish and medium fish, and more eggs and schools of fish. So there's a lot of nice little things in here, and I have to say, for the value of the components for what you pay is actually excellent. So top marks to Stonemaier for that. And we're just going to open up the last little section, which would have the cards, which are of course the bones of the game, and the tokens themselves. So we have some nice little wooden meeples here. That looks like a scuba diver with his little faceplate here. The old school scuba divers, of course, with the little the hatches, or perhaps the eye goggles. So they seem to be different colors of them. And we have here a little fish marker token that's single-sided, but yeah, I'm guessing that these would be the kind of the player activation markers, indicating how many turns you have left. So there's a bag of those, and we have here the actual cards themselves. Now, the artwork for these have always stolen the show. The Wingspan game in particular had some of the best artwork I've ever seen, and of course I suspect that there is the exact same quality with this. So I wouldn't be too au fait with fish, but you have the abyssal anglerfish. Now I know this one because he's a predator. He attracts other fish with the light on top of his head, so he's a real deep fish. And of course, small fish comes to investigate the light, and he gets eaten by the big fella. You have the abyssal halosaur, abyssal spiderfish. You have the angel shark, which, okay, interesting. You have the angler. It uses a special dorsal fin ray to lure passing fish near its mouth, gulping them down. Okay, that's actually pretty incredible. You have the Arabian carpet shark. You have the Atlantic bluefin tuna. So, tuna, one of my favorites. You have Atlantic bonito, Atlantic mackerel. Of course, the mackerel is, I don't know if my dad is watching this, but he took me fishing for mackerel many times. So, always a pleasant memory, Dad. Thank you. We have the Atlantic sailfish. We have the Atlantic salmon. Of course, the salmon is very famous in Ireland. Well, among our myth would be the salmon of knowledge. In our mythology, there was a man called Finspan who went to help an old druid who had caught the salmon of knowledge, and the druid had asked him to cook the fish, and he promised to not taste it, so that the druid could have all the knowledge from the salmon. But Finspan accidentally burnt his thumb from cooking the fish and sucked it, and without meaning to, had actually tasted the fish, and then had inherited all the knowledge from the salmon of knowledge instead. So a nice little folk tale. We have the Atlantic sturgeon. We have the Atlantic wolffish, this thing I've never seen before. You have the Banggai cardinal fish, a beautiful looking creature. You have the barramundi. You have the bearded sea devil. So, God, I didn't think they could get creepier. You have the big eye tuna, the big eye smooth head. You have the binocular fish, the black cardinal fish, the black hagfish, a black swallower, a blob sculpin, a blue tang. Now remember these in different Chinese restaurants, they always have some beautiful fish there. You have the blue spine unicorn fish, you have the blue street cleaner wrasse, you have the blunt nose sigil shark, the Chinese trumpet fish. What an incredible looking creature. So I mean, this to me is actually interesting because these would be creatures I would never have seen before, and just to see the variety that life has out there is astounding. So you have the chola guitar fish, the clown ameno fish. This is a famous one from Nemo, I believe. You have the common fangtooth. You have the cookie cutter shark, the cow-nose ray, the creole fish, the crocodile fish, and I can see why it was called that. I didn't even know these things existed. You have the deep sea lizard fish. You have the diamond stingray, of course, we all know those. You have the Eltzman's whip nose. So look at this thing. Like, I mean, why or how? It has a long whip-like lure attached to the tip of its snout and approximately 5 rows of needle-like teeth. So again, it's like the other deep fish that it would just kind of use light, I presume, to attract prey and then eat them. You have the emperor red snapper, beautiful fish. You have the escolar, European anchovy. Of course, we all know what anchovies are, and that's why they should and shouldn't be on pizzas. You have the European flounder. You have the European sturgeon, the faceless cusk, the false cat shark, the false cleaner fish, the flabby whalefish. I think that's my figure these days. The football fish, also my figure these days. You have the giant devil ray, the giant hatchet fish, the giant hawkfish, the giant manta ray. Now I've heard of that. And we have the giant oarfish, the giant trevally, the grey triggerfish, the great northern tilefish is known as the clown of the sea. It burrows into the sediment at the bottom of the ocean. The great white shark, of course everyone knows the great white shark. The Greenland shark, the girdeye fish, the barrel-eye. Oh, what an interesting looking creature. The blue lanternfish, the bonefish, the smooth-cheeked lanternfish, the long-fin batfish, the mandarin fish. And of course, now that is astounding and beautiful looking creature. Comes in with its vivid coloration, evoking the robes of the Imperial Chinese Civil Service. Very clever. Orange ruffy, the porkfish, the saddleback butterfly fish, white banded triggerfish, and of course we have here what I presume are player aids maybe, or different kind of objective cards. So we have different symbols here, as you can see amongst them, and they all have a different backing. And we have, of course, the week 1, week 3, week 4 achievements. So these would vary depending on what you want to do in the first few weeks of, because I believe the game takes place over 4 weeks. And you have the Nautama reminders. So perhaps this is part of the solo play. So I'm just going to put these back, and of course the backing is beautiful. So there are some, I would presume, starter fish here and regular draw fish that you have here. And looking at the other ones, now it's interesting that it's wrapped like this, and I actually quite like it because it's better to see paper than plastic, if you know what I mean. One is a bit friendlier to the environment and I would imagine friendlier to the fish. So we have here, of course, the haddock. Who doesn't know and like a good old haddock? You have a hogfish, honeycomb skilly dragonfish, humpback anglerfish, a humphead wrasse, and it looks very human. You have an Indo-Pacific sailfish, a Japanese anchovy, a kaluga, a kawakawa, a large tooth flounder. You have a leafy sea dragon, you have a little skate, a live shark sucker, long-snouted lancetfish, long-spine porcupine, a maya or mahi, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Maltese ray, marina snailfish, Mediterranean damselfish, the Mediterranean parrotfish, midwater scorpionfish has been seen suspending itself vertically in the water with its mouth pointing up towards the surface. Good lord. An ocean sunfish, an oceanic puffer. The Latin names mean rabbit head, and like many puffers, it contains neurotoxins that may be fatal to humans if eaten. So yeah, if you see that in your plate, don't eat it. You have the Pacific sardine, the Pacific white skate, pale chimera, paint-spotted moray, parala paris, Patagonian toothfish, the pelican eel, the pennant coral fish, the pilot fish, plate fish, pudgy cusk eel, pygmy seahorse, red lionfish, red scorpion fish, so there's 2 of them, rock mover wrasse, the salfin flying fish, and this of course is the fish that adorns the box. So when they leave the water they can fly up to 400 meters at speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour. And it's incredible that you would have flying fish. The sargassum fish, the scaleless black dragonfish, the short spine African angler, the short spine spur dog, silver lightfish, skipjack tuna, Sloan viper shift, smooth Oreo dory, snaggletooth. I think that was the name of the Flintstones dog or cat, I believe. You've snipe eel, you've speckled butterfly fish, spiny sea devil, spookfish, spotted parrotfish, stonefish. And of course, you can see why it's called that. The world's most venomous fish. If you mistake it for a harmless rock, it will pop up its dorsal spines and sting. Lovely. And you've the stoplight loose jaw, the striped marlin, the swordfish, of course, which we all know, the tripod fish, the tropical two-winged flying fish. So this exceptionally large pectoral fins enable the fish to glide for long distances above the surface of the water. The whale shark, the white suckerfish, white spotted puffer, white margars and stargazer, wolf trap angler, yellow boxfish, yellowtail snapper, and we have, of course, more of these kind of different icon cards. So again, a lot of very interesting things in here. So if you have a marine biologist in your life, or even just someone who has an appreciation of fish or their collections, this would be a lovely gift for them. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Finspan. As always, if you enjoy these boxings, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And of course, as I've already said before, please do feel free to check out the description box below for the link to our competition where you could possibly win your very own copy of this game.